Oh, what's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Oh, hope everyone's doing good. All right. I do read Twitch chat, barking cavalier. Okay. What's up, guys? What's up? Hope everyone had an awesome weekend. Welcome back to another episode of Ethereum and Chill. I'm Trader Mayne, if you don't know. So we're going to be covering primarily Ethereum and Bitcoin. So no, I did not get a new camera. I've just been messing around with the settings, trying to make it better. But yeah. So hopefully everyone enjoyed that altcoin video that I put up yesterday. So seems like those first two videos have done really well. So I'm really stoked with how that new series is starting to kind of progress and develop. So those of you guys that don't know, I've started a separate video series. I'll be doing one a week. I'm going to try and make them more consistently, come out on the same day, like Thursday or something like that, where I'll cover altcoins. So this stream is going to be primarily Bitcoin and Ethereum, maybe some alt requests at the end. And then the next video will be the altcoin video, okay? So I am feeling a little sleepy, to be honest with you guys. I had a little bit of a big night on Friday. I took a bunch of friends out. We went and partied, got like bottle service and stuff, and just drank a stupid amount. And I'm old. So what they don't tell you about turning 30 and beyond, because I'm older than 30 now, is that you get savagely hungover. So my hangovers last like usually 2 days minimum. So had a nice sweat earlier and feeling a little better, but still a little bit just tired and you know that. But getting back into form here. So hopefully the audio sounds a little better. The camera looks a little better. I've been tweaking the settings a little bit. I'm slowly starting to figure out what the hell I'm doing technologically wise. So what's up, guys? Really excited for this video. So real quick, shout out to Bybit, obviously the sponsors of this video and this series. They've been my sponsors for a while now. Really enjoy working with the Bybit team. Right now they've got another deposit bonus program going on. I've left all the info that you need in the description of the video, but essentially you click the link and it has a bunch of terms and conditions. If you make a deposit of BTC, Ethereum, Ripple, there's a bunch of coins listed there. Depending on how much you deposit, you get some free money up to $1,000, which is pretty sweet. So definitely check that out. Obviously, nothing we're going to talk about here is financial advice. So always do your own research, especially when you listen to some random hungover Canadian guy on the internet. So what we're going to talk about first is Bitcoin, then we'll cover Ethereum, then we'll go into Ethereum BTC, and depending how much time we have left, we can do some requests and some kind of Q&A with the chat. Try and save your questions towards the end, but if you have questions along the way, I will periodically check the chat out. So yeah, leave some likes, retweets for the video, and let's get this thing going. So obviously, we've had some bullish momentum on Bitcoin, over the last handful of days. Extremely strong move up from the lows. So if you guys have been following me for some time, we've been watching this range essentially since basically the start of May or mid-May. Whenever that dump finished, we established this range very early. And I was very consistent on, kind of being a bear near the highs and a bull near the lows. Unfortunately, when we had this last test of the lows here, I got fudded out of my position. You're saying I'm too small? You want me to be bigger? Are you sure? Are you sure about that? All right, I've made myself larger. Unfortunately, I got fudded out here. Not by anyone, but by myself. We had multiple tests of the low down here, and then we broke down, and I got bearish near the bottom. Unfortunately, it happens. But the mistake that I didn't make was being stubborn. Once we got back in the range, flipped this little level here, I began to target the mid-range and then obviously the range high. So that's the key in trading. Obviously, investing, a little bit different, right? Like you want to buy as low as possible, but when it comes to trading, if you didn't buy here, right, it's okay. If you bought here and sold here and got a 2R, that's just as good as the person who bought here and sold here and got a 2R. It's the same. So it's not as relevant in terms of, where you got in per se. It's just about being able to have no bias and have a bias, but be willing to flip that bias. If evidence in the chart tells you to do so. You can't be stubborn in trading. The people who do really poorly in trading are people who are very stubborn. When we're in a clear uptrend, they're bearish and they're trying to short every single top and they won't fucking stop. You know those people online, right? Same thing is when we're in a downtrend and they're just longing every dip and it just keeps going lower. You have to be willing to be wrong. And that's something a lot of people aren't able to do. It's the ability to say, okay, I'm wrong. What can I do now? How do I get on the long side, right? So when I was wrong here, what I needed to start doing was to say, okay, how can I get involved in longs? Because I'm now flipping to the upside rather than just trying to short every fucking move on the way up. You have to be able to flip your bias, be like water, right? Like that Bruce Lee quote you always see thrown around in trading, be fluid with it. So once we regain the lows, right? After a range low touch, you target the range high, right? You target the EQ, flip that, target the high. So we've obviously had a massive move up. We broke above the range high. You got a nice pullback into support here. And then we have another leg. So, I mean, if you're looking at this right now, this is another break in market structure that we've had. And we've put in a higher high. So we essentially have a low, right? A high, a higher low, and a higher high. So this was another little fake out here where it broke the low, but then ended up moving up. So right now, I think the expectation on Bitcoin is you want to be aiming for longs on pullbacks. Where are those longs going to occur is the question. Are we going to pull back from here to the range high? Or are we going to trade up further before getting another correction here? So what I'm looking at on Bitcoin right now is this level right over here. So I actually was hoping we would test this level on this move, but we never got that high. But now you can see we've come into this resistance. We've basically run every high, kind of in this range into an untested level of resistance. So I would assume that there's going to be some resistance here. Could we push higher? Sure. Anything is possible, but this is a level that I'm watching for now. If you zoom out to like the higher time frames, the weekly, the daily, and things like that, really the only levels I see are kind of like up here and up here. So we're into that first level right now, right? So that daily level there lines up very nicely with this 12-hour order block that I had marked. And this level up there marks up with that order block there. So you could argue that we push higher to one of these levels before seeing a correction, but these are going to be the kind of levels that I'm going to use to determine, my bias. And so if we get some sort of move up through here, right, and then a pullback below, this would be like a shorting opportunity for me because this would then be a very extended move, and I'm just expecting some sort of correction, for a potential higher low. We don't know yet, right? Right now, I'm going to draw that range on again here. Right now, I'm not really interested in shorting here. It's too early to tell. If we get some signs of distribution on the low time frame, and so what do I mean by that? I want to see maybe these highs get run, right? And then a move back below. that would be a signal to me that, you know, this might be ready for a pullback. But as it stands right now, I'm not interested in shorting this level blindly. I'm not interested in shorting here. I think a lot of people, the funding is still not even that negative yet or negative yet. I think it's kind of flat or close to. Someone can fact check me on that if you like. But I don't want to short here. I would rather see signs of distribution, meaning like a run of the highs and then a failure. That would tell me that, okay, we've now trapped some late longs, right? And we're going to get a bit of a pullback now to squeeze the people who longed up here and obviously here. And then maybe we get a pullback into the range high. That would be a short trigger for me. Otherwise, I'm not interested in shorting yet. So what would long scenarios look like for me? A long scenario would be some sort of pullback from here. Maybe we run higher, but some sort of pullback from here in towards the range high. Maybe in towards this level here, okay? And then a reclaim of the range high. That would be a long trigger for me. So somewhere into the neighborhood of like 38 through 40. Come back, 38 through 40K, reclaim the range high. That would be a long trigger for me. So essentially what I'm saying is I don't have a trade right here on Bitcoin. Maybe there's a scalp on the low time frame that you want to get into. However you trade, that is up to you. But for me personally, there's no trade for me right here. I need to wait and see if we get some sort of move above the highs and then a breakdown for a shorting opportunity, or I want to see a pullback. And then I want to see bullish market structure, which is going to tell me that a higher low is being put in to get long. And then obviously target back into here and then as high as $50,000. Okay, so that's kind of the game plan for me for now, to keep it super simple, super straightforward. What do I mean by bullish market structure? So a perfect example is right here. Once we broke market structure, when we come back to this level, I want to see price show me that it wants to hold here. So what's a few examples of that? There's a bullish 12-hour swing failure pattern. And then we also have bullish market structure form on the low time frame, right? So we come into here, we put in that nice wick, and then we break a high. That's your signal to start getting long in here, right? Same idea for what I'm looking for here. So if we come into this order block here, what do I want to see to get long? I want to see a reason for bullishness. So if we come down here, right, put in a low, run the low, reclaim it, or come down here and then start putting in higher highs and higher lows, right? That's going to be my signal that, okay, now I want to get involved in a long, because this is a high time frame area that I want to be bullish, and the high time frame market structure is bullish. The H12 chart put in a higher low, right, and a higher high. So the H12 market structure is bullish. So what I'm looking for is the low time frame to get in sync with the high time frame. So when we pull back here on the H1, I'm not just going to short support here. If this starts putting in bullish market structure on the low time frame, that's telling me that it is now going to line up with the high time frame. Okay, I'm interested in getting in longs now. So that's exactly what happened back there that I was showing you, and that's the kind of thing I would want to see happen here. Give us a dip, put in some low time frame bullish market structure, and then I'm going to frame my entry within this order block or on a flip of the range high. Okay, so pretty straightforward. Hopefully that makes sense. So I've given you kind of two scenarios. Right now, I do not have a trade on Bitcoin here. I think if you were long, we are into resistance right here. So I think if you long down here, if you longed here, this is not a bad place to take some money off the table. I'm not saying you have to close your position, but it's definitely not a bad idea to take some money off of the table, or at least start trailing up your stops and locking in some of those gains, right? So the things that I'm looking for, I'm going to cover it just real quick one more time, all right? So some sort of distribution here on the low time frame. We do have a lot of people have messaged me about this. We do have like a daily bear div playing out on the RSI, right? So you have a lower high here and you have a higher high here, okay? So that is a daily bearish divergence on the RSI. The RSI is also above the 70 line and putting in a daily bear div. We have not had the RSI this high since way back here, right? And then obviously a little bit here, but it's been a while since the RSI has been, that high. So what does that mean? It means we've had basically a 50% rally, from the lows to the highs in a very short period of time. Really strong price action, right? So it makes sense that the RSI is starting to get overbought. But what you have to remember is the RSI can stay overbought for a long time. The RSI was overbought way back here at 20K. The RSI was overbought at 40K. The RSI was overbought, right? And then finally at 60K, the RSI was overbought and we started putting in that, bearish divergence, and then it dumped like months and months later. So I see a lot of people who have messaged me and just been like, oh, there's a daily bear div on the RSI. It's something I see, I'm aware of it, but that alone is not enough of a reason for me to just short the market, because this can stay overbought and above the 70 line and price can continue to go up. So again, it's one of those things like, yes, the RSI can be confluence that you use, a tool that you have in your tool belt there to give you more reasons to, maybe along with price action and other things to get into a trade. But just shorting a bear div is not enough, because you would have been getting blown the fuck out, right? Like here's a bear div right here. How'd that one turn out, right? So here's a bear div right here. And then we made another high, right? And then months later we dumped. So it's not enough on its own. But I do see it. Price has been trending very strong. But a pullback, down to here or something like that could be enough to reset the RSI, right? And to let price cool off before its next leg. So hopefully the plan here, guys, makes sense. Oh my God, I always got to do this. Hopefully the plan here, guys, makes sense. All right. So a move above this high and then some sort of failure back below 45, right, would be a short trigger down into, 41, and then 38 to 40 is that order block. If we get the short trigger, I'm looking to long here. I'll short it into a long. If we do not get the short trigger, right? If we do not get my short trigger and we just pull back from here, I won't be in a short, but I will be looking, right, for reasons to get long on the low time frame, right? So a little breaker type of play with an SFP or just bullish market structure. So the plan for now, if we run the high, looking to short a break back down below this key level, 45,240, okay? Regardless of whether or not we run the high, I am looking for bullishness between 38 to 40K, and I am looking to get long if we break below and reclaim 41,000. That is my game plan for now. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. And hopefully one of those situations plays out and we make some fucking money, because that's what we're all doing this for at the end of the day, right? So I'm going to be watching this very closely, and obviously I'll update you guys on Twitter, on Discord as things progress. But for right now, there's no trade for me. I mean, if you shorted this level blind, you got a pretty nice entry, but still too early for me to tell if this is going to break down. Like, I would not be surprised if this legs up again. It looks pretty strong on the H4. The H1, right, did break market structure here and is now retesting a bearish order block. So could it just roll over from here? Of course. But I would not be surprised at all if, this was just kind of a run of the lows here and we're going to see a push up higher than here, squeeze it a little more, and then we can get short. I like to short once I have a good idea that a top has been put in. I like to short situations like this, okay? This is what I mean by distribution here. This is very similar price action to what we have right now, right? And then we're grinding up a bunch of people short here. Price fails to dump, and then it runs those people, and then it breaks down, right? So I'm not even short on this. I'm short after that run happens, and then we break down, I'm shorting this, right, with my stop up there. That's kind of similar action that I'm looking for in this current kind of zone. So if I go to where we are right now, you can see it looks kind of similar, right? So we see like just a grind here, a run up, run the highs, and then break structure. Once we break structure, I'm looking to sell the retest, and then your risk is defined by the stop run back into here. Okay? Take a quick look at chat, but I think that was one of my more concise runs. Are you hedged or spot long? I'm only in spot. Looks like BTC may put in a SFP on the 12-hour. Wouldn't that be a short trigger? This is not an SFP to me. A swing failure pattern has to run a swing. So a swing takes 3 candles. So we need to see it run a swing. This is not a swing. This is just closing above an H12 candle and then closing back below. You could argue that it's like a 4-hour SFP, but it's not. There's no SFP for me on any of these time frames. No swing failure pattern for me. A swing failure pattern has to run a 3-candle high, like this one. So there was a 3-candle high right here. 1, 2, 3. That's a swing failure pattern. We do not have that. All we have right now is running a high and then closing back below it. So not a swing failure pattern for me. Doesn't mean this can't dump from here. It absolutely can, because this is high time frame resistance. But I would rather see, like I said, distribution, and then I'll get short. All right. I can look at LTC. I don't know why you'd want me to when Ethereum is moving way more. Damn, that beanie looking hot. I'm glad you like it, bro. We call them toques here in Canada. Not Carhartt. Not today. Everyone has been waiting for a pullback. Don't think the market will give the sidelines a choice. The market doesn't give a shit what everyone's doing, bro. The market's going to do what it does. You just got to trade level to level. Don't think like that. Sir, can you draw a trend line, a downtrend line from the 64K high on the 1-day chart? Is that what you want to see? That we're breaking that level there? This means absolutely nothing to me, but hey, if you like it, then maybe back test the trend line. That lines up with my idea. The current high hasn't been confirmed for the div yet. It will be confirmed in an hour and a half. The weekly is closing bullish. Don't daily bear divs take over a week to play out usually? I don't know. I don't really use divs in my trading. I just know a lot of people commented under my tweets being like, bear div, so I just want to comment on it. You know, Mayne, I know you trade Forex too, but would you say this is effective in the traditional stock market as well? TA works the same in all markets, bro. Do you put any weight into the hash ribbon buy signal? None at all. I don't even know what that is. I mean, I know what it is, but it's not something I've ever looked at. Mayne, totally forgot about the chat. I'm reading the chat as we speak. Can you show the short trigger one more time? Sure. So I want to see price run above the highs here and then fail, right? Run above the highs. Maybe it comes up to here. Maybe it doesn't. It doesn't have to come that high. And then I want to see failure back below this level. That would be my short trigger. And it also would work the same here. If we ran up here and then broke down below this level, that would also be a short trigger. So I don't know if we get that high though. We'll see. We'll see. What time frames do you like to see high time frame market structure on? I generally am trading on the daily or H12, the H4, and the H1. What's up, Brian? Value area low at 36,700. There you go, man. Maggie, love the weekly alpha from the neck. Thanks, bro. Can you and Ninja stream together? It's difficult listening to both. Well, I've been streaming at this time. I talk to Ninja a lot. We're in multiple Discords together. I've been streaming, guys, every Sunday for a year straight now. Like, outside of missing a few for vacations and shit like that, in a year straight, I've been doing these Ethereum and chill streams. A year. That's over 52 Ethereum and chills. I literally think the first stream was like the start of August. BTC is going to test 50K, then 46 is support. Okay, bro. How did everyone learn their TA? Best resources available for beginner? Check out crypto cred stuff, bro. Okay, cool. Hopefully everyone is on the same page. Market strong, neck is girthy. Thanks, Dixie Normus. Ha 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 ha. Dixie Normus. All right, I'm going to get into he means hot, like in the summertime, bro. Why are you wearing a fucking beanie? I'm wearing a fucking beanie because I feel like it. I'll do whatever the fuck I want. Mayne, are you willing to sell everything here or less willing now? I have no intention of selling everything here. My sell everything level is higher. Right? Like if we get up towards here, if we get up towards like here and here, I think you hedge the fuck out of everything. Because if we're going to make a lower high and then a lower low, like this is where it happens, right in here. This is the point of origin of this entire down move. So if we retest this area, it makes sense to hedge or take some profit here. Because if this is just going to be a high, a low, and a lower high, that lower high, in my opinion, happens in here. It's going to happen somewhere in this area. Didn't realize an SFP had to be 3 candles, thought it could be 2. Well, it's called a swing failure pattern, right? So for me, a swing failure pattern has to run a swing high. 2 candles does not make a swing high. Yeah, it is a little bit of San Pellegrino. You know, I'm on my my water game today, trying to stay hydrated. Do you scalp? A little bit, not very well. All right. Chat is just going absolutely fucking nuts, guys. So I'm going to go and do Ethereum now, and then we will get back to the chat. I'll try my best to keep answering shit, but you know me. I make a lot of promises, and I never deliver. But at least I'm consistent. Right? High to a low. The mid-range of this move is 46. If you just take from this high to the low, we're at the mid-range right now. And if you throw it on the regular fib, right, that sweet spot of this swing lines up right with that area that I had mentioned. And if you take this, it also lines up right with that area that I had mentioned. So to me, I think it would be really smart to take some profit up into this area if we get there and hedge your bets, because where would the lower high form, if anywhere? Right there, right? No different than this. When we had the initial breakdown here, okay, where did the lower high form? Right into the fibs. So you take from that high to that low. Where'd the lower high form? Right there. Go look on your charts, right? All-time high, big dump that broke market structure. What happened here? Everyone got bullish again, saying buy the dip, we're going back, we're going to 100K. What happened? We came up here, we distributed, and then we ate a dick. So if you look at the weekly, it's a fractal of this exact move right now. I'm not saying that we're going to do the exact same thing. I'm just saying, you know, be aware, right? If we come from down here after breaking high time frame market structure, if we come up here and start showing weakness and dump again, you can't be surprised. Like, that's the optimal area for where the dump would happen, right? Because it's either going to dump from down here where it was, it's either going to just roll over from there, or it's going to squeeze everyone who's shorted in this range. But you have a very clear invalidation. If we start trading above here, right? So if we come up here, consolidate, maybe pull back a bit, but then start trading above here, we're going to like fucking 80, 90, 100K. So why not lock in some gains and then buy back, right? As opposed to being all in up here after a 100% move off the bottom and run the risk of this being a lower high and it eating shit afterwards, right? Always protect yourself at all times. It doesn't mean you have to sell all of your spot, but it means maybe hedge a little, take some profits, or don't. Do whatever the hell you want. I'm telling you what I'm doing, right? If we get up here, I will absolutely take some profit on spot that I bought down here. It's 100% gain in what could be the beginning of a bear market. It would be stupid to not take profit. And if we go higher, I can always buy back. And I will have caught from here to here. And then I missed like a $2,000 move. So I catch a $30,000 move and then I miss a $2,000 move. I don't give a shit. It's all about getting the meat of the move, right? But just have a plan. If you have a plan, there's zero stress. No stress. You feel FOMO. You feel stress. You feel panic. You feel all those emotions. Number one, it's because you're a huge pussy. No, I'm just kidding. But the reason you feel all of those things is because you don't have a plan. Like if price is rallying really hard and you're like, holy shit, like I need to get long, that's FOMO that you're feeling because you have no plan at all. If price is rallying super hard, right? Like let's say we're going like this and we're just mooning and you start chasing, you're chasing. But if I say, okay, it broke market structure, made a higher low, so I'm going to place bids here. I'm now chilling because maybe it comes back and fills me. Maybe it doesn't, but I have a plan, right? The problem is when you do this, price breaks out and it's going crazy. You have no plan. You're like, oh, it's going to the moon. I missed the bottom. So you long here. Then it pulls back to my entry. You close and you puke because you're underwater massively. And then it starts going up again and the cycle continues. If you have a plan, you're not going to stress. Right? You're not going to stress because you know what you're looking for, right? When you know what you're looking for, you have a plan, you're prepared, you're chilling, man. You're big chilling. When you see guys like Trader SZ short this thing all the way to the ground and then it goes up and everyone's making fun of him. What you don't realize is once he got proven wrong on the bearish side, he started taking longs. Because he has no ego and he has a plan where he's like, okay, I'm shorting. Oh shit, it broke market structure. Now he's longing. So did he miss here? Sure. But he hit one trade, two trade, missed one, boom, and he's now on the long side. So you got to be able to have no emotion, flip your bias, have a plan. You're going to stress way fucking less. I promise you. The most stressful part of trading is not having a plan. You don't know where to get in. You don't know where you're wrong. You don't know where to take profit. And that's what's causing you to make fucking shitty decisions because you're acting out of emotion as opposed to out of a place of objectivity and logic. You're acting out of places of subjectivity and emotion and being like, oh, well, Twitter said this and blah, blah, blah. Fuck all that noise. It's no different than when you're fucking getting in an argument with your girlfriend or with some buddies or something and you're all pissed off and you say something dumb and then later you're like, fuck, I shouldn't have said that, as opposed to like going into a conversation and having the facts and just being objective. It just changes it, right? When you act out of emotion, you usually do stupid shit. Okay, rally, right? I mean, you look at the hourly chart from the low to here is insane. I mean, this is an insane chart. Please tell me the fucking stream didn't just rug. Did the stream stop? Or is YouTube just fucking me? Is it back? Dude, I'm gonna be so pissed if this shit gets rugged. Is it back? I always have fucking issues with this stupid. All right. Sorry, guys. It's fucking Streamlabs. Like, Streamlabs sucks. Just hit refresh, guys. It should be back. When I used OBS, I had 0 issues. And then I used fucking Streamlabs, and it fucking does this bullshit every fucking time. Okay. So sorry about that, guys. Yeah, it should be good now. It's like, says my stream status is poor, which makes no sense. Because I literally have a goated PC and fucking, like, the fastest fucking internet connection possible. Anyways, okay, we'll just get back to it. We don't know how much time we got. So Ethereum's just been on this monster fucking rip, right? Monster rip on the hourly, just fucking, you know, climbing. So how do you get on board with this is kind of, you know, the question you need to be asking yourself. So if you look at Ethereum, first thing you had to do was determine when did the trend shift, right? Once you know that the trend shifted from bearish to bullish, that was your clue to zoom into the low time frame and start piling into longs on pullbacks, right? So the Ethereum range that we were watching ended up being fucking quite nice because it literally was the bottom, right? So we had 3 taps of the lows here. 1, 2, 3, and then boom. And the exact same setup at the lows played out on Ethereum, played out on Bitcoin. And what you saw here was the H12 was just selling off, and then it made a lower low, but just slightly, and then it completely engulfed the move. So once we had this flip, that's your clue to zoom in and start looking for longs only, okay? So it's a breaker. This is the exact same as the Bitcoin bottom. It's a breaker, right? So it's an up candle before a down move that does not act as a bearish order block. So it's the exact opposite of like this, okay? So this is a bearish order block here. Price came up, rejected, sold off. Same thing here. Price came up, rejected, and sold off. So a bullish breaker is a bearish order block, right? So here's a bearish order block, okay? And then here is another bearish order block. But a bullish breaker is when the bearish order block fails and then it flips and becomes support, okay? That is what's happening right here, okay? So you have bearish order blocks getting respected the entire way down. And then this last one here, price engulfs it, flips it, there's your retest, and then it starts trading higher. So anytime you see this kind of thing happen, it generally is going to happen at trend shifts, so at tops or bottoms of moves. And this was your clue to start getting long. So if you didn't long the low, right? Like some people just have huge fucking coconut-sized balls, right? They need to wheel their balls around in a fucking wheelbarrow, okay? I'm talking the rookies, the Kaleos, the Pentoshis, those guys who are just like, I'm buying the range low with 100% confidence. That is not how everyone trades, right? Like maybe you want confirmation. Maybe you want some sort of clue before you get in. That's how I trade, right? So when I look here and we had that low and Bitcoin looked like it was breaking down, I didn't have the confidence to long there because I don't know where my risk is. Is it way down here? Is it here? Is it here? I don't know. But once we had this breaker play out, that's when I knew it was time to start being bullish on Ethereum up into the range highs. And that's exactly what we saw. We'll zoom in here. We came into the range low, and the H1 actually gave you the exact same setup here. Okay, the H1 gave you the exact same setup. This is a breaker right at the range low. Up candle, down move, SFP, flipped it, boom. But you don't have to long down here, right? You might want to wait, but we hit the range low, and then what are we doing? Low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. We're putting in bullish market structure, and then once we flipped this H12 breaker, which also was the level of market structure, right? What is this level? This is the market structure on the H12 right here. Once we broke that, this is a trend shift. So you need to now take off your bear goggles and put on the bull goggles. So you didn't catch the bottom, but I bet if you started longing Ethereum from 1900 to 2100, you're still pretty fucking happy. So yeah, you didn't catch the bottom. Who gives a shit, right? So based on just the breaker alone, you could have longed Ethereum here, right? On a retest of the breaker, your stop would go either at the low that was run or at the base of the breaker. Usually my stop is there. The target is the range high. That's a 3R trade. If you had a tighter stop, could be even higher. But that is if you just wanted to long this based on the H12. But what I'm telling you is once this move happened here, everything that precedes it, you need to assume that we are now in a bullish market structure on the H12. Any sort of bullish market structure on the H1, I want to start longing into. So when we flip this level, what do? I want to start looking for setups on the H1 to get long. I'm going to ignore bearish setups. I'm not shorting that. I don't care. I want to be longing a low, a high, a higher low, a higher high. This is a classic Mayne ICT type of setup right here. There's the order block that broke market structure, retest, boom. Okay? And this will happen over and over again. Maybe you miss, maybe you don't catch this run up here, but what do you have here? Exact same thing, right? You have a low, you have a high, you have a higher low. Where does the higher low form? Right in the down move, right? That led to, there's your bullish order block on the hourly. That led to the up move. If I pull my fib from here to here, that is going to be the OTE retracement. Can you see it? $7.9 right there on the money, right? And you do it over and over and over again, right? Here's a breaker right here. Right? Low, reclaim, retest, boom. Any of these pullbacks is longable. This is just an uptrend. Exact same setup. There's your break in market structure. It comes back. It retests the order block. It also tests the mid-range. And you're long. And all of these low time frame entries are based on this H12 shift. So that's what I'm trying to nail into your head here, guys. Like going into the low time frame and finding entries is not that hard. The key part of what I just explained about Bitcoin and what I'm explaining here is once we had this trend shift at a key spot, ran a low, reclaimed it. The H12 is now bullish. So when you go to the H1 and you take longs, the probability of those working are way higher. Not every single long trigger is going to play out perfectly, but when your low time frame trades are in line with the high time frame order flow. So if the H12 is bullish, H1 bullish setups have a higher probability of working. And this was your trigger here to start getting into those trades. What was your confirmation to continue to look for longs? We made another higher high on the H12. And then we made another higher high and another higher high. So every time we made a higher high on the H12, when you're on the H1, those long setups you're taking are going to have that much more of a likelihood of working. And it all started here. This was the trend change from a downtrend, lower highs and lower lows to boom. Now we're in an uptrend. You need to be hunting long. So who cares if you miss the bottom? If you're able to spot when the trend changes on the high time frame, when you zoom into the low time frame, you now know I'm ignoring bearish triggers. I'm only looking for longs. Okay? And this is valid for any time frame that you use. I'm using the daily and H12 interchangeably. They're effectively the same time frame. This is my high time frame. Okay? And then I like to execute on the H4 and the H1. Okay. So when this is bullish, I'm only looking for longs here. When this is bearish, I'm only looking for shorts here. And can you zoom in even lower than this if you want to execute? Absolutely. But you got to realize in an H12 uptrend, right, there might be a little downtrend on the hourly or a little downtrend on the H4. But if you want to go down to the 15-minute chart, there is going to be a big old downtrend on the 10-minute and then a big old uptrend on the 10-minute, right? So you might get fudded out being like, oh, the 10-minute looks bearish. But you've got to remember, within the context of the higher time frame, you're good. So if you want to go even lower than this, you can. Let's say you want to use the M15. Well, if the H12 is bearish, wait for the H1 or the H4 to be bearish and then go look for shorts on the M15. As long as you do this top-down analysis, you're Gucci, right? And that works for whatever you want. Your high time frame could be the H1. Okay? And then your execution time frame could be the M15 and the M5. So once this is bullish, then you zoom in and you look for your long triggers on the low time frame. But you have to have that top down, right? Top down. Because when you have the low time frame market structure in line with the high time frame market structure, the probability of your trades working out are way higher. This is how I trade within the trend and also spotting reversals. There's some people who they're experts at spotting the low or, trading the absolute top. I don't really care about that. Once I know that the trend has shifted for me on the time frames that I care about, then I zoom in and I just start banging out longs. And there was no reason to me after this flipped to not be looking to longs into here. And then once it made another higher high, to look to longs into here. All right. So hopefully that was valuable. That should be. Where do we go here on Ethereum? I thought we would kind of come up to here. That's kind of the level that I was watching for a retest. Because on the weekly, there's nothing. On the 3-day, there's nothing. On the daily, right, that's essentially the same level that I just marked out. So very similar to Bitcoin. I would not be surprised if Ethereum gets one more push up here, right, and then some sort of distribution and a pullback. So only reason I would short this is if it runs this current high, similar on Bitcoin, right? Run the current high and then break back down. So I'll mark the level out so you can actually see it on the chart here. So it's about 32.50, give or take. So if we get some sort of run on the high here, run the high, back below that level, and then ultimately back below the highs, those would be kind of the areas that I'm interested in shorting. Back into the range high would be kind of where I would target. If this is going to run the high or not, I don't know yet. But the area that I think I would be interested in bidding is if you look at we have a couple key levels here on Ethereum to consider for pullbacks. This is the monthly open here. And then we also have all of these highs here sitting right around, kind of 27, 2800 that I would consider kind of, your relevant SR level. So I would probably take this and say that is kind of the area where I think we might get a dip to. All right, so we might dip to here. We might dip a little lower. And if we do, and then we reclaim this, and obviously if we reclaim here, that's the kind of long I want to take towards much higher. All right, so this is around 27 to 2800 here. And then that monthly open is at like 25.25. I think I might have marked it wrong. I think it's actually supposed to be 25.13. Oh, no, I got it right. Anyways. All right, so very similar game plan here for Ethereum, right? If we run above the high, give me some sort of short trigger, then sure. Targeting back into the range high, which is at 2900 and into here, right? This is your order block too for this current leg. So this would be an area that I expect to be support. I don't know if we get back down here. I've seen a few people post like, oh, monthly opens along. I don't know if we get back down there. If we do, Jesus, that scared the shit out of me. I should probably check that. I don't even know what I set that for, gold. But yeah, this is kind of where I'd be watching on Ethereum. Range high is here. This is your bullish order block that led to this break. We ran all of these highs now. All of these highs have been run. So I'm leaning towards longing the dip on Ethereum if we get one down to kind of the 27 to 2800 area. And the only reason I would short is if we get some sort of distribution occur here. This does not look like distribution to me yet. I wouldn't be surprised if we see one more run above the high and come up and test this level of interest. All right, guys. Hopefully that, and again, we could just pull back from here. We do not have to run the high. We could just pull back from here. But just looking at the low time frame, I don't know. Shut up. This kind of looks like it wants to trade a little bit higher. We'll see. Still too early to tell. This is going to be the key right here. Right? If it comes back here and rejects, it's going to go down. But if it flips this, that becomes a breaker, and that will probably give us our next push, and then I would look to short a break back below. Alrighty, and yeah, if we come back down to this 27, 2800 area, I think I'd be interested in potentially getting in along. We also have a nice monthly level right here, actually. See this? That monthly close, that monthly open, that could be an area of interest too. Lines up very well with our level. Alrighty. Alright, fuck off with your fucking alert. How do I fucking shut you up? Alright, let's go look. Ooh, God. Jesus Christ. Gold with the exit scam. Yowza. Yeah, this doesn't look good for gold, right? Basically, if you're a gold bull, low, high, higher, low, you wanted this to make a higher high. Clear lower high here. Another lower high. Just broke market structure. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say gold is bearish. Jesus Christ, that's savage. Like, imagine if you shorted like in here and then you just got stopped out on this wick before the giga nuke. And this is a huge move for gold. Like, this is a massive fucking move for gold. Oh my God. Yeah, so the gold gold is going to be bearish, and it's going to be selling bounces on gold for a little while here, because this is definitely going to run these lows. Has it already? It's about to. Those lows don't stand a chance. Neither does this one. Yikes. What's silver look like? Sorry. Yeah, silver was clean. See that? That is clean. Retest the floor, SFP. Did it give the entry? No, it's a dirty bitch. Like, I would have been looking to short silver, but never got filled. Never got filled. Yeah, nasty. Nasty. That is a savage dump. Savage dump, boys. We'll see. Everyone's selling all their fucking gold and buying NFTs. That's probably what's happening. That makes sense. That makes sense. Why is gold dumping? I don't know. I'm not a fundamental trader. I just trade the chart. All right, so I'm gonna check the chat here, and then we'll get into Ethereum BTC. SZ called this on gold. I'm sure he probably did. He is a legend. Peter Schiff liquidating his bags. What's up, Noah? How you doing, buddy? Any target on gold? I'm not in a gold trade. I was on the shitter and heard those alerts before it was me getting stumped out. That's funny. Yeah, Peter's worrying about... that's a good tweet. I'm stealing that and I'm tweeting that. I'm tweeting that strong, bro. I'm stealing your fucking tweet. I'm sorry. You're about to watch influencing happen live. That's so funny. Could be a sign that we're going risk on. Who knows? I think what you want to look at is the dollar. Look at this. This is from Trader Mayne, guys. I posted this fucking ages ago. See this? I think the dollar's going way higher. And that pump, right? My altcoin lesson that I just posted, what is gold? Gold that you're looking at is traded versus the dollar. So this chart is the dollar. So if the denominator is going up really strong, what happens to the fraction? The fraction itself goes down, right? That's what you're seeing here. And that's why I look at the dollar when I trade Bitcoin, because what is the denominator of the fraction? The dollar. So if this is going up super fucking hard, that can be bearish for the entire thing. And people don't like to believe that the correlation exists. But here is the bottom of, here's 3K. Here's the top at 60K. Okay? So the correlation is 100% there. You want to know where the 2017 bottom or top was? Right here. And then look what the dollar did. And then look what Bitcoin did. Bitcoin was the inverse. So people just don't understand fractions, and they haven't traded anything but crypto, so they just ignore traditional markets completely, which I think is silly. Yeah, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, buddy, the tweet's doing numbers already. All right. I used to do metals with Mayne too. I used to have a metals with Mayne stream, but no one seemed to care. And we used to just absolutely smack. Every week I would smack the shit out of gold and silver and the dollar. The dollar pumping. All right. What broker do you use for XFX? I use Oanda and my FX Choice. DM me, I'll give you a ref link. How much correlation between gold and BTC? You can look, right? You don't even need to ask me that. You can go this, right? Divided by BTC USD. There is gold and Bitcoin right there. So Bitcoin's been slapping the shit out of gold forever. Like basically since it, I mean, this doesn't go back very far. Why did it give me Femex? Here's what I want. I'll do this. No. Divided by Bitcoin Tether. There you go. Right? So there's periods where gold outperforms Bitcoin and Bitcoin outperforms gold, but Bitcoin's been smoking gold for the most part. And you can do this with anything, right? You can compare gold to silver. And you can find optimal times to be long gold versus silver. So if this is breaking out and looking like it's bottomed, guess what? Gold is going to outperform silver. It doesn't mean that they might both go up, right? They could both be going down. But if gold is outperforming silver because it's the numerator, right? If the entire fraction is going down, that means that this is going down and this is going down less if this is going up. Yeah, dun, dun. All right. I have a long on 1800 from ETH. Should I keep it? I don't know, bro. I'm not a financial advisor. I'd definitely take some profit or adjust your stops at least. The worst thing that you would, we're at 3,100 right now. What happens if we do this? Are you going to be pissed that you've given up on all of this unrealized profit? I mean, I would lock some in, but it's up to you. We could go higher, and then you might be pissed that you locked some in. What was your target when you initially got long? Right? I closed a ton of my ETH longs at the range high. Was I salty about it when we went another 5 to 10% higher? Of course, but that was my plan. You live with the plan. What NFTs should I look into? Do I look like the person you should be asking about NFTs? I suck at NFTs. I haven't really traded any. I'm not the NFT guy. Are you uploading this? Yes, this will always be available on my YouTube and on my Twitch. I'm not looking at any NFTs. I feel like I missed the party, to be honest with you. What's up, tolerable trader? When you short, do you do it through the futures or use some instrument? Same question with longing, just spot without leverage. I trade futures actively to trade Bitcoin. So on Bybit, you can trade, the BTC perps, right? Which is a perpetual futures contract. So there's no end date. Or you can trade, but there's funding. Or you can just trade the actual futures. Neckboy Crypto, we're taking over BitBoy, guys.
What do you mean you don't know how it started? Have you ever seen your neck?
Technically, that is support on gold. Thank you so much for the valuable lessons, especially for a newbie like me. Yeah, like if I'm long Ethereum, let's say from here, if we like come down and break this low, I would probably be worried that we trade much lower because that would be a trend shift on the H12, right? What I don't do is sell all of it on a trend shift on the H1 because the high time frame trend is still in an uptrend. You've got to remember that the H12, right? The H12 trend is from here to here. So any sort of pullback within this range is seen as a buying opportunity until the low is broken, right? Now I lost all my levels. Fractions, I didn't pass the 3rd grade. You're going to be in trouble then, my friend. Mayne, take a look at the MS Master Stock, MSRT. You mean MicroStrategy, right? Yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. This chart is hilarious to me. This is the chart from MicroStrategy, which is Michael Saylor's company. And he basically bought the internet bubble, right? And now he's in the crypto bubble. And then the rest of the time, it just did shit fuck all for like 20 years. So to me, it's a hilarious chart. But like low time frame, I mean, for now, right? Looks like it's moving up. Like that's a break in market structure on the H12. So you could argue that the next dip is a buy. Kobe tweets going crazy. What did he say? He's trying to get a like a news company to pick up one of his fake tweets, I think. You should just do everything in your stream like you did today. What do you mean? So yeah, that's the thing, right? What could line up with a pullback in crypto, right? After a big run is the equities market having a bad day, right? I mean, I don't know how you call a top on this thing. Like this is one of the craziest charts in the world, if not the craziest. Bitcoin's chart is crazy. This is crazier. Because Bitcoin went from 3K to 60K here and then died. And this thing just kept going up. So this chart is fucking nuts. I don't know how you call a top on it. I mean, if we get back below here, maybe it corrects. But every time I try and call top on this thing, it just fucking hits support and launches. So no interest in calling top on this. But to start the day, you know, this could see a pullback and could line up with a pullback in crypto. If you change it to 140p, you look like an NFT punk. That's cool. Thanks for tuning in, homie. The Mario bounce is loud as fuck. Bro, I did a video on altcoins yesterday, and I covered Matic in that video, so go check that out. Yeah, I don't know where to go for good NFTs, because I don't want to buy shitty ones, right? I want to buy like fucking a punk or something, but I feel like that shit is late. Bro, I covered Matic in my video yesterday. I use Bybit to long and short, the sponsor of this video. Click the link in the description. All right. Play another soundboard from that sound of yours. That's a bear. We got... Whoa. Surprise? I don't know. There's so many. That's to beat me out.
What do you mean you don't know how it started? Have you ever seen your neck?
All right, guys. Gonna cover. We're gonna cover Ethereum BTC next, and then I'll go back to the chat. We can do a couple chart requests, and then I'll end the video. All right. So Ethereum BTC trading within this range here. We had a big rejection here, right at this monthly level, right? And that caused this, you know, temporary top, because that's all it is. Tops are just temporary. They're just in your mind. And then we've had a nice, kind of downtrend line breakout. If you are a trend line trader, right? Breakout, retest, and it's pushing up. But the way that I would be trading this right now is just like how I had it marked right at the start here. We're in this kind of range here on the H12. Came and tested the low. Right? Test the low, and now we're fighting at the mid-range here. So if we can hold above the mid-range, we should see a move towards the upper part of the range. If we lose the mid-range, then I'll be looking to buy the dip on this thing. I do believe that Ethereum BTC remains bullish. We just broke market structure here, right? Similar to the Bitcoin bottom. Ran a low, reclaimed it, and we're pushing up. So I would assume that, if this area here holds, we'll see another leg up. It doesn't mean that these have to go up, but it will mean that Ethereum is going to continue outperforming Bitcoin. That's what it means, right? So I think I'm still bullish on this. Maybe we come down here, but I like it over the mid-range. If we're holding above the mid-range, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a move up towards this high. That is the next target for Ethereum BTC, assuming that it remains bullish. If it, comes down here and breaks down and then breaks down again, then things get really ugly. Then we're probably going to go run these two lows. So I would only short this probably if it lost this level here. And that's a far way away from where we are now. But I'm kind of more interested in longing the dip on this until it tells me that it wants to go down, which I don't think it does yet. There's another shift on the H12. So the H12 remains bullish, and as long as it doesn't pull back deeper than, kind of 0.064, I think you long the dip on this and you target up here. Isn't that a clear reversal on the hourly? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what chart you're talking about or anything. If you guys are asking questions that are specific to a chart that I'm showing on screen, I don't look at the chat every 2 seconds, and there's a delay. So I'll be reading old messages. And so if you just say, isn't that a reversal? I don't know what you're talking about. So if you have a question like, isn't that a reversal or whatever, tell me the chart that you're looking at. So if you're saying, hey, was that a swing failure pattern? I don't know if that was on gold, silver, Ethereum BTC, Ethereum USD. So just be like, hey, that gold chart, or hey, that Ethereum USD chart, was that a reversal? And then I can go back and look, all right? So that's all I got for you guys. We're an hour and 15 minutes. I feel like there's a lot of good stuff in this stream, so I hope you enjoyed it. So let's do some Q&A and some chart requests for a little bit here, and then I'll probably end the video. Yeah, I told you it's going to run these lows. It's going to run those lows. All right. You're welcome, Anna. Thanks for tuning in. You'll have to DM me, bro, for the ref link on Forex. Okay, thoughts on EOS and or XRP. And then another person said thoughts on XRP. So let's just look at XRP. Like this to me looks like it wants to be potentially going higher, but it's similar to most charts right now where we were in a range here, right? Hit the low, pushed up, we're putting in bullish market structure. So for now, just short term on XRP, not high time frame or anything like that. That's your resistance that needs to break. And then this is your key swing low that I think you want to see hold. So if it pulls back into here, I think that could be kind of a long, or a flip of this level could be a long. I think if it loses this low, then I think you want to look to get short XRP. and it will trade back into the range. In terms of thoughts on XRP overall and the SEC shit, I have no idea. It's not something I've been following closely. Is it Eminem Kid? I don't know what you mean. Okay, Elijah is asking about a 1 hour reversal on BTC and Ethereum. So this is what we need to see, right? If this is going to push higher, it needs to break that. Because right now, yes, this made a lower low, and it's pulling back into a bearish order block, right? So you could short this, but you are shorting counter trend. The high time frame is in an uptrend, but it doesn't mean that this can't pull back from here. It absolutely can, but I would like to see it move above this high and then go. But I talked about this early in the stream. This is a bearish order block. This is a completely legit short with your stop right there. There's your entry. And if it breaks a low here, then get in on the next pullback, right? But yeah, it's rejecting from an order block, but it is counter trend. But this could be a sign for the markets overall, with gold dumping super hard and the stock market selling off a little bit here to start the day. It could be a sign that crypto is going to have a pullback on Monday, end of Sunday going into Monday. Thoughts on vanilla ice cream? I'm more of a chocolate ice cream guy myself. All right, Stugler, thanks for tuning in and thanks for being a follower, bro. I'll look at DOT. So everything looks very similar to me, right? Range, this was like a very nasty breakdown, but the exact same setup, right? There's your breaker. Now you needed to be looking for longs. We've run up into resistance here. We actually moved a little bit higher. But essentially found some resistance here. Now we're pulling back. You assume that the trend continues until it doesn't. This is support. But if it loses this, then by all means you can short it. But if it holds here, gets back above here, probably goes higher. Yeah, you got it. The one worry that you have right now across the entirety of crypto, all altcoins, BTC, Ethereum, all that shit, is that this is all a big deviation, right? Like if we come back into the range like aggressively and like reject, then that's really ugly, and this is like a very ugly lower high. I'm hoping that this is not the end of this rally. I'm hoping that we get another push up into the higher 40s and 50s, but anything is possible, right? Remember, I showed you this chart at the start too, right? So we are right at of this swing, we're right at the mid-range. So it could reject here. This is not a bad idea to take some profit here. You never know. I covered Link in my video yesterday, Mark, and you were the one who suggested it, and I picked it for my altcoin video. So the fact that you haven't watched the video that I picked your request for makes me very sad, and I feel like you don't like me. Mark, I remember your name. Mayne, do you ever look for low cap coins, anything under 50 market cap? Not like, I'm not like an altcoin gem hunter. Like if that's what you're looking for, that is not me. I'm like a TA trader. I have buddies who are very good with that stuff, and I'll just ape into things that they tell me. But in terms of like trying to hunt altcoins and shit like that, that is not my game. I literally charted Sol in the video. Did none of you guys watch my altcoin video yesterday? I did an altcoin video. I covered Link, Sol, and Matic in that video yesterday. Thanks for tuning in, Cult of Benny. Will you do more videos in the future comparing traditional markets and crypto markets? and their effect on each other. Possibly. I have done videos on that in the past. If you go watch my videos from like a year ago where I was doing those metals with Mayne streams, I covered that a lot. All right, you guys slow down on the chat. I need to like introduce slow mode or something. Chocolate, I love you, but chocolate ice cream sucks compared to vanilla. You're simply wrong, my friend. How long would it take someone from going nothing about the charts to being decent? I have no idea, bro. How hard are you going to work? Are you spending multiple hours a day or an hour a day, right? Like, it takes a long time to get good, for sure. What's a bullish and bearish order block? You got to go watch some of my old videos, man. I also have a Discord with an education section that explains it all. And I also have tweets where I explain it. Just go search through my tweets. I like Pop Smoke, yeah. Can you show us to set up the fib like that? Sure. Those are the settings for the fib. Thank you, Alexius, for watching it. Can you look at the moon indicator, please? Sure. I don't really know what this is supposed to do. Well, there you go, right? There's a full moon, and you get the bottom, full moon at the top. That's kind of freaky, and I'm pretty sure we're about to get a new moon today. So that could be a sign that we're going to dump. I don't know. I'm glad you liked the video yesterday, guys. Okay, I'll look at Rune. Take a look at Rune here. So the one thing I do not like about this chart is just this wick, right? Like we basically came up, tested that weekly level, and then we're getting a pretty strong rejection, right? So here's your bearish order block. I know it's huge, but that's your bearish order block right there. So really what you want to see on Rune is us get back above that 778 level. So we had the bottom form the same, right? There's your breaker that we're retesting right now. So this is support. Like that's a nasty rejection, but this is support. The bulls want to see us get above effectively $8. If you're bearish, if we get back below here, I think we'll make a new low. So that would be kind of my high time frame analysis on Rune. If you want to zoom in a little bit more, right? Looks like we're kind of just deviating above that high, but for now, right, lining up within that breaker, there's your support right here. So you want this area on Rune to hold 6 to 650. You want us to hold here, ideally. Wouldn't really want us to go much lower than that. Back above here, I think you get giga long. All right, question. What is a chart? How do I become a millionaire? And can you hold my hand? What is a chart? This is a chart. How do I become a millionaire? Save $1 a million times. And can I hold your hand? Absolutely. What is your drawing tool? I use something called Epic Pen. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to take one more question that is not a chart request. So if you have a question about trading or anything like that at all, one more question and then one more chart request, and then we're going to end it, all right? When Nike sponsor? Hopefully soon, man. Every video I've fucking got Nike shit going on, except for today. Do I think Canada will implement regulations or clarity on crypto? I think Canada will likely do whatever the US does. Do supply and demand zones work in crypto? Absolutely. Yeah, I can talk about risk management. I think that's a good question. Okay. Risk management, very fucking important, right? Very fucking important. And I highly suggest all of you, if you haven't already, go watch Cred's risk management course on YouTube. So Cred has put together an amazing, completely free, extremely comprehensive TA and risk management course in written and in video form. I highly suggest you check it out. He talks about how to calculate stop placement, how much should you risk, all that fucking shit. I highly suggest you check that shit out. Because people do not realize how easy it is to blow your account and how hard it is to dig your account out of a big hole. The math works against you. If you draw down 10%, you need to do 11.1% to get back to break even, right? And it gets progressively worse. So in terms of bankroll, I know a lot of people, their dream is to trade full time, right? They're like, I want to trade full time and I don't want to work and I just want to chill and I just want to make fucking money. What you have to do before you even consider trading full time, here are the things that I would suggest. First is have a proven system that works. So before you even consider trading for a living, you need a system that works where you can consistently pull money out of the market. It doesn't have to be huge sums of money. It can be on a small account. But if you're having trouble growing a small account, what makes you think having more money will make you a better trader? It won't. Everyone started with a small account. The people who got good at trading got good by got big accounts by growing small ones into larger sums, right? So if you can consistently make money with your system, you should have no problem growing a small account into a bigger one, right? And as your account grows, the amount that you're risking per trade grows with the account, right? That 1R might have been $100, and then when you 10x your account, it's now 1,000, right? So first, you got to have a system that works, proven profitability. However you want to do that. If you think back testing is enough, fine. I think you should have experience trading live before you can, proven at least like 6 months or a year where you've traded live and you've made money consistently and you know what you're doing. That's step one. And you can absolutely do that while you work full time, right? You just trade on the higher time frame. Maybe you trade at nighttime. Maybe you get up early, but you do not need to quit your job to learn to trade. 2 is money. You need to have, I would say, at a minimum, 1 year of living expenses saved up. The advice that I'm giving you here is from someone who's traded full time before they were ready and then ended up having to go back to work. And it's what you don't want to do is have the stress of needing money to pay your bills on top of your trading. If you're in a trade and you're like, holy shit, if I get stopped out here, I'm not going to be able to afford my rent, or I got a car payment coming out, I need to go trade. You're looking for trade. You're going to force trades. You're going to take bad trades. You're going to hold trades too long, and you're going to fuck yourself up mentally if you're trading to make money to pay for your lifestyle. You need to have all of your bills, whatever it costs you to live every month. I would say for at least a year. Some people say 6 months. Some people say 2 years. But at least a year before you even consider going full time. And that's after you've proven that you can consistently make money. I think a lot of people in crypto, there's this common misconception because everyone's like, I just went all in with my credit card, my debt. A lot of these people lived at home, and a lot of these people took massive risk, right? I never want to have the risk of ruin. I never want to be in a situation where if crypto goes to zero tomorrow, I like can't eat and I can't pay my rent and shit. I never want that to happen. I never want to be in that position. So I would suggest if you're considering going down the trading route, make sure you have a system where you can consistently make money and it's proven, you have the data. And then two, make sure you have living expenses saved up so you're not stressing about making money to pay your bills and to go out and be able to enjoy yourself. You can absolutely trade while you work. You do not need to quit work to learn to trade. Most traders trade while they're working, and to build up their bankroll, they have a job that they then add to their trading account. And then once they've proven, right, like let's say it costs you $5,000 a month to live. Well, how many trades do you need to get right to make $5,000? Well, that's going to be dependent on your bankroll, right? If your bankroll is $100,000 and you risk 2% and you hit a 2-hour trade, well, you've made $4,000 on one trade, right? So is that enough to cover your expenses? Well, that's a $100,000 account. Do you have that? Like to live full time on a 10K account, it's not feasible. Yeah, I think that's a good summary of what you should be doing before you even consider doing this full time. I think to trade full time and make a decent living, like you got to have a pretty big account. I don't think a $10,000 or $20,000 account is enough. And I don't think people realize if you're having trouble growing your small account, having more money is not going to make you a better trader. Do a lot of traders take Adderall? Yes, they do. I've taken Adderall before, but not that often. How do you backtest? So there's a couple ways. You can use the replay tool on TradingView. This one here, it works pretty well. I also suggest going and backtesting on stuff that you're not used to looking at. Backtesting Bitcoin is hard because you've seen the Bitcoin chart so much, you already know what's going to happen. So go look at some currencies and stuff like that. There's also other softwares that you can download that allow you to take, you know, previous price history for different assets and play it like at 10x speed as if it was live. So those can work really well as well. And then forward test, back test, and then just paper trade. That's another good thing to do before you start risking real money. You're right. I will stop smoking. I'm sorry. Do you look at on-chain data? Absolutely not. How do you deal with blowing up an account and starting over if you've ever blown one? I've blown tons of accounts, like tons and tons of accounts. Like it's not even, not singular. It's part of trading, man. And it's something that you just have to realize is part of the process of trading. It happens. Get back on the horse, man. But make sure that you learn lessons from it. You should never liquidate or blow an account, right? That should never really happen. Obviously, you need to go back to the drawing board. It sucks, right? But don't let it discourage you. It happens to everyone. But figure out your risk management. You should never be at a position where a trade doesn't go your way and you lose all your fucking money. I've been trading since 2013. I was profitable in like 2016, 2017. Yeah, don't let me smoke this stupid fucking vape. I should flush this thing down the toilet. Bro, I've seen you request Luna 1,000 times, okay? I'm gonna look at it. I see you, bro. I see you. For me, I'm mining Ethereum. What would you do if you're getting a small amount of ETH weekly? Right now, I sell on the FBTC with a stop loss below the current low and move it up. That seems like a pretty good plan. You could also just stack it and just hold. Look, we're rejecting right now. We're rejecting. It's over. They don't want us to win. They don't want price to go up. This could get ugly, but there you go. I marked this out for you guys live, right? H1 order block. There's your retest. So if this breaks down, it's going back to here. Yeah, I need to get rid of the fucking vape, bro. I don't even smoke. Surprised we're not getting a bounce here. Well, actually, yeah, this is gonna dump pretty soon, I think. If we get Mayne 100K subs on YouTube, will you destroy the vape on live? I'll destroy it well before 100K, bro. If I get 100K subs on YouTube, I'll do an entire stream with my shirt off. Trading versus holding crypto. I think most people would make more money just holding than they would trying to trade actively. But people are gamblers. They think that you'll make more money trading and getting rich quick. Go look at Bitcoin from 3K to even 30K. So not, or to 40K. Let's assume you bought near the bottom and it's at 43K now. You did more than a 10x. How many of you 10x'd your entire account? Probably very few. You trade spot? Of course. I don't smoke weed anymore. I quit smoking weed over a year and a half ago. Thoughts on hash ribbon? I have no opinion. Did you use put option? I don't know if I know what you mean. Like, have I traded options before? Then yes. What exactly is a system? Yeah, a system is having a trade plan. Okay, so what things do I need to see in the chart to get in a trade? Where's my entry? Where's my stop? Where does my take profit go? And then a risk management plan. And then obviously the mental game. All of those things together, there's your system. A lot of people write it out on paper. Why did I stop? Because I'd been smoking weed for like my entire life and I wanted to see if I could quit. How do you actually learn from looking at the charts? Well, take the things that you learn in these videos, watching Cred's videos, then go to a blank chart and start trying to mark it up. Where's support? Where's resistance? Right? And then when price gets to those levels, zoom in and see what happens. Is price bouncing there? Is it putting in bullish market structure? Stuff like that. You got to get in and actually get your hands dirty. Do I ever look at inflows, outflows? Absolutely not. I feel like people, there's too many things, right? Trading, one of the biggest problems people have in trading is there's so much fucking going on, right? There's all these indicators, there's Twitter, there's the inflows and outflows, there's all these different, the plan B, the micro blah blah. Like, you're gonna have information overload to a point where you're not gonna be able to make a decision, right? Know what your system is and then stick to it. People always ask me, why don't you use indicators? Because I already make money doing something that uses no indicators. So why would I fix something that's not broken? Can I tweak things? Sure. But the problem is people will start learning price action and then they'll see someone using indicators make money and then they're like, oh, I need to learn how to do that now. You need to put in a significant amount of time in whatever style you want to learn to get good at it. It's like anything. If you take 10,000 shots with your right hand playing basketball, and then all of a sudden you go to the gym and some guy is hitting a bunch of shots with your left hand and you go, oh, I'm going to go left-handed now. You're going to suck, right? Put in the time, build the repetitions up, right? It's just like a sport. Have you tried the TradingView desktop app? That's what I'm using right now. I don't use indicators. Beginner question. If I enter a trade on the 12-hour, do I stick to the same time frame for a change in market structure? If your trade idea is based on the H12 chart, that's the chart you need to focus on. Can the trend, like in an H12 uptrend, right? There's going to be a 1 hour downtrend on here. And so you might be on the 1 hour and be like, oh shit, I better close my long because the 1 hour is going down and then the 1 hour is going to do this. Right? Because the higher time frame trend is intact. Did you play any MMOs? Yeah, back in the day I used to love playing RuneScape, Diablo. What else? God, there's so many back in the day. I can't even remember the names of them all. But RuneScape a lot. Mayne, do you have a private group of traders? I'm in a bunch of Discords, but I don't have like a paid group or anything like that. Thanks for tuning in, Trader Storm. Yeah, Spaceman's key indicator stream is very good. Or key levels indicator is very good. I do like it. How can you trade while doing a 9 to 5? Either wake up earlier in the morning, stay up later at night, zoom out, right? You don't miss the trades. You think you miss the trades. But if you're working a 9 to 5 and you use the 4-hour chart as your execution time frame, there's only 2 candles that occur during your day. You're telling me that you can't check your phone or whatever twice during your workday? Stop putting obstacles in front of yourself as a reason why you can't do something and find the solution, right? Maybe you just need to zoom out. Maybe you need to only take trades based on the daily chart because you're at work all day. That's totally fine, right? Because then the candle doesn't close until the end of the day or whatever it is. I do not have any fluffs. Altcoin made a connection with MMOs and highly profitable traders. I think it's more so that most people who trade crypto are nerds, and so they used to play RuneScape and World of Warcraft. I don't think it has anything to do with whether or not they're profitable. All right, guys. I think this is a good time to end the video here. Is it true that I'm Logic's twin brother? Yes, it's very much true. I'm also half black. Yeah, I mean, of course, volatility, right? At the end of the day, is that this could be the daily dump to start the day. Too early to tell. But Bitcoin is rejecting exactly where we thought it would. So no surprise there. Neck looking thick. Thanks, John. Do I have a boyfriend? Not yet. All right, I'm gonna check Luna, or else EAA is gonna have a fucking conniption on me. And I looked at Luna last week, bro. So there's literally nothing to report here on Luna. Here's your resistance, okay? There's resistance. This previous floor, that's resistance. So above there, Luna is super bullish. The H12, if it closes here in less than 10 minutes, has just broken market structure. So I would actually probably be expecting Luna to potentially pull back into like here. Maybe here or maybe here. So I think Luna's probably going to see a bit of a retracement. Is that a bad thing? No, because look at the chart. This is due for a bit of a pullback. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green 3-day candles in a row. Okay, so some sort of pullback into the lower, 12, 11 bucks. I would not be surprised at all. H12 is about to break market structure. We also put in a swing failure pattern right into resistance. Mayne is half black from the belly button down. Exactly. Mayne, bro. Why so bro? I was just born that way, bro. I already covered XRP, my man. How do you draw RS yourself? Go watch any of my videos, bro. I do top-down analysis and cover all the charts from the beginning to the end multiple times. So yeah, a little bit of a key test here for Bitcoin. This is where the bulls want to hold the door. Otherwise, we're coming here. So we either do this or we do this. If I had to guess. Senpan, do you still love me? Of course. Why do I say Luna will bounce because of broken market structure? I said I expect it to pull back and then potentially bounce. I did cover DOT. All right, guys. So I am going to have my editor do the same thing as last time, but it will be in better quality this time. We will have a condensed form of the stream uploaded some point this week. So keep an eye out for that. What he's going to do is go through and just try and condense it into just the charts without all of the Q&A and the question asking and the ranting and all that shit. So stay tuned for that. Really appreciate you guys tuning in as usual. I hope you guys find these streams valuable. Please share them, retweet them, like the tweets. Also, check out my altcoin video yesterday and the altcoin video I did the week before. I'm really excited about that new series. So really appreciate you guys all tuning in. I hope you are learning stuff. And of course, if you have questions, hit me up on Twitter. Join my Discord. It is completely free. In my description on my Twitter, there is a Yat. Click the Yat. There's a link to the Discord in there. And yeah, hopefully this was helpful. I really appreciate you guys tuning in as always. Thank you so much. And I will talk to you guys later this week. Thank you, everyone.